Okay, today we're going to talk about thought patterns. You'll have several questions on your entrance exam about the thought patterns used to develop the reading selection. So let's go ahead and get started. So a thought pattern, what is it? A thought pattern is an identified relationship between sentences and the way the paragraph is organized. There are some key elements to consider when identifying the thought pattern of the reading selection. First, you need to identify the main idea. Oftentimes in the thesis statement of the essay, you will be able to identify what thought pattern or what structure the author utilizes in the text. In addition, it's important for you to review the supporting details of the essay. What type of details are used and how do they interact? In addition, it's important for you to identify the transitional words or phrases. Transitions are words and groups of words that identify thought patterns by showing the relationship within and between sentences or paragraphs. So the role of transitions, what do? They help the reader to assimilate the pattern of thought, a relationship between ideas within a sentence, between sentences, within a paragraph, or between paragraphs. Now let's look at three types of thought patterns. The first type of thought pattern that we'll look at today is time order. There are two types of time order patterns used on the entrance exam. The first type is process. The second type is narration. We'll also look at the listing pattern and a classification structure as well in just a moment. So first of all, let's look at time order. Well, we said that the process pattern is one type of time order structure used on the entrance test. The process structure is when there are actions identified by steps, stages, or directions within the text. Let's look at some examples. In order to maintain an organized and a balanced budget, follow these steps. So the term steps is in the main idea statement. Next, there are multiple stages in adolescent development. Multiple stages in the main idea sentence identifies the type of pattern as process. The next example, the easiest route to take. So there will be one or two practical readings on your entrance test, so please keep that in mind. Now, as I said a moment ago, the time order structure, whether process or narration, the structure is identified with transitional terms like after, before, during, eventually, finally, once, and so on. So please be familiar with these types of transitional words before you test and know what each category represents. The second type of time order is narration. A narrative expresses a single event or a chain of events. Let's look at an example. September 11th was a somber day in American history. Another example, John would like to pursue his doctorate degree before getting married. And thirdly, she'll eventually come to her senses. So always look at the information in the text, identify the main idea, key supporting details, major and minor, and the types of transitions utilized in order to determine the type of text. Now let's look at the listing structure or thought pattern. What is a listing pattern? A listing pattern is a set of points, reasons, or details that appear in no definite order in the reading selection. Here's an example. Today I'm going to study for my chemistry exam, write a cause and effect essay for English 1101, complete an online quiz for college algebra, and exercise at the gym. So you can change the order of these activities in your written piece, and the meaning stays the same, okay? So that is a specific quality represented in a piece that has a list of items structure. The key points can take different positions in the reading, and the meaning stays the same. Transitional words that identify the listing pattern. Also, another, for one thing, moreover, in addition, 1. Again, please keep in mind the main idea, supporting details, and key transitional words and phrases for the structure. Another type of structure is classification. What is classification? Classification is the sorting of ideas into groups or subgroups according to characteristics or qualities. Transitional words or phrases that identify classification include the first group, kind or category, the second group, kind or category, another group, kind or category. In addition, the author will discuss the characteristics of each group. Let's look at an example here. So the branches of the military. So we know the different branches are the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines. We know that these are different groups that are all a part of the military. So classification is another structure covered on your entrance exam. Please review this important structure and how to determine it on the test. In the next session, we will continue to discuss thought patterns.